All right, listener, we're going to start with a little brain tease for us, just to get us up on our feet and get nice and sharp for the chatter and the banter. What we're going to do, we're going to try a quick little podcast exercise. Here we go. Ready? I'm going to start it out. Ready? S. We're going to start one more time. Still rolling? And here we go. I'm going to start. Ready? S.
M.
A.
R.
T.
L.
L.
Well, we're going to go again. We're not really up to podcast.
Sean,
It wasn't your turn. It was my turn.
No, but why were you pausing? What are you going to
I was scared I was going to get the wrong letter.
You want to write it out in front of you so you have it
don't
in
know how
front
to
of you.
spell SmartLess at this
I
point.
get
We're
nervous.
like 1,000 episodes.
Here we go. I'm going to start again. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Ready? S.
M.
A.
R.
T.
L.
E.
S.
Oh, you almost made it.
Welcome to SmartLess.
There we go. We limp across the finish line.
No wonder that's the title.
SmartLess.
You know, Will, it's really, it's odd to see you this morning. Yesterday, Maple, for the uninitiated listener, that's my youngest daughter. She's 13. She's got some friends that were talking about Arrested Development. So she said to me, well, I'd like to see Arrested Development. She hasn't really seen it. So, shut up, Sean. You haven't seen it.
I should watch it with her.
So I was watching Arrested last night, season 1, episode 3, 4, and 5.
No.
I mean, there he is. Look at him. Look at this. There's Job right there. I am a little starstruck. Boy, we were such little kiddies. It was 25 years ago.
I know,
wow.
dude. It's crazy.
Isn't that amazing?
We look very different.
We all look very different. I know. And Sean has no point of reference, but it's
Sean,
other than his memory.
Section, run some emails or something.
By the way, Jason, he also knew us at the time we were on the show, too. So
we
he
were
watched
close.
then.
Yeah.
I know.
This was during the time we were watching Will and Grace. One of us was actually on Will and Grace.
I went on.
Yeah,
I went on.
I know.
That's true,
We loved
that's
it.
true.
Yeah, it was full support.
Well, how about that? Wait, what does it feel like, you guys, 25 years ago? Doesn't it feel like just a week ago?
It does.
Yes and
It
no.
does. 25 years is pretty short at this age.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
So, Shawnee, you're still in London.
Sean, what's the elevator update? Sorry, I haven't asked in a while. So how are we doing? Are we okay?
When Jason came, it was broken the day before he came. Then they fixed it.
And I'll have you know, during the, what was it there, 4 days?
Yeah.
4 days? Didn't ride the elevator once on purpose. I got through.
Because of that?
No. I was like, no, I can do these stairs. I'm gonna pretend that I'm back in the olden days.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, this thing was built, this townhouse was built in 1770.
Crikey. Oh, no, that's Aussie.
Elevator 2. Sounds like.
No.
And Willie, you're still in, you just slogging it out there in blue-collar Long Island, you know?
Yeah.
This,
putting the hours
how you
in.
do it, man. No air conditioning and sweeping the steps.
This is such a, for me, it's such a, I'm getting whiplash because like I'd be in the ocean right now. I'm playing golf with Bierman tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Why? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, you mean
Just because I'm having to do, because I'm doing
yeah.
this. No, because I had to come downstairs to do this.
Oh,
sorry about
so
that.
sorry to interrupt.
Hey, how has golf been? I'm going to actually hit balls today for the first time in over 8 months, probably.
Wow.
I just want to say this. My best part, one of my favorite things about JB, one of the many, many things that I love about him is when he's playing golf, he's playing golf. And when he's not, he's really not playing. Like he won't go at all. Yeah. But Jason, what's funny is the number of people who are aware of it, and I get so much on the fringes of like, hey, I get texts like, is Jason playing again? Is he started yet? Like everybody knows that when it starts, it's going to be an avalanche. So I get texts.
Well, you know what else it is? It's people miss me, Will. They miss, there's a big hole in their lives. And they want to know when it can be filled again.
Yeah. You're right. They want that. You're right. They want that hole. They want that asshole, that hole back.
What?
It's a-hole. It's a-hole that they want back.
Is your game must be good enough where you haven't given up the game?
No, it's actually I didn't play for a little bit, and it's actually been pretty good recently, to be honest.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if our audience wants to hear I'm hitting irons, but
No, of course.
You're hitting irons, no woods?
I'm hitting irons well. It's been good.
Are you?
It's been good. Hey, sorry about that.
Will.
I preemptively said sorry.
I haven't seen you guys for a couple of...
Oh, we got a classy guest. I can tell by Sean's embarrassment.
No, not at all. I wanted.
Is this your guest, Sean?
No,
Not
I wanted
classy.
to share with Will what Jason was kind of blown away when I went for a walk with me, Jason, and Franny, and we walked past Buckingham Palace, and I asked the genuine question:
This is such a beauty, Will.
If the family actually lived in the palace, and but the point is,
He wanted to know if it was just a tourist stop.
That's what I thought it was.
Size place,
Yeah.
all the infrastructure in and around it and everything, just for people to walk by and look through the gates.
To look
Right.
at, like,
because I thought it was like the Mona Lisa. Like, I don't think the real Mona Lisa is hanging. I think that's
It
got to
sure
be like a
is.
duplicate.
It sure
Ding
is.
dong.
And also, like, why would they? If it was for tourists, then they'd let them in. If nobody,
Right.
you know.
Oh, that's true.
And
Yeah.
I looked at him like he was, the kind of doorknob that would say, "Hey, boy, Beatles is spelled B-E-A-T." I never did, and I'm
I
like,
had a lot of people
man,
backing me up on that.
They still live there, and of course they've got other castles that they live in sometimes too. But that's
Yeah.
home for them. He's like,
I did
"Oh,
not know
really?" I go,
that.
"Yeah, you dumbass." No, 2 hours later, he pulls me aside in privacy and goes, "Hey, no, seriously, do they still live there?" I'm like, "Yeah, you fucking dumbass."
I didn't want anybody else to hear me.
Been thinking about it. But
Yeah, for 2 hours. Like, wow, they really live there.
you know what? Next time, spare yourself the embarrassment of us chewing you out, and just look it up.
Turn on the Google.
I know.
machine.
I know. I had it in my brain that I needed to Google it later.
But
anyway.
but is there most of the memory on your phone taken up by Candy Crush? Is that the problem that Google that they've throttled your Google down because
what's my data? No. All right. So
we haven't done a record for a couple weeks.
I
Right?
know
I
it's
know.
so
Fucking
fun to see you guys.
I
You
know,
guys
it's
look
really fun to see you
You
guys.
guys look
You
great.
look
I
great.
miss
No,
you guys so
Will,
much.
you look
I miss
And
you
then you
too,
guys
yeah.
texted me a really nice text and said that we're here. Jason was very sweet and squishy and said we're here and we're thinking about you. We're talking
Yes.
about you.
No
we
response.
miss you.
Yes.
No response.
And I know.
No
Well, I
response,
was
zero.
like, I almost cried. It was so moving.
And then
I know,
what
well,
else?
Willie,
Then I
why
sent
don't
you.
you
Oh, then I sent you another. I sent you a little link to a fun pair of shoes that we all thought that you'd actually
I
really
did
look good
respond
in.
to that.
About 3 days later.
Well, I'm on a
You're
delayed.
not that busy, and
You're not
I
a delay.
know that phone is attached to your little holster right next to your sidearm. You're
know.
always on the phone. Why
I
do I
know.
take 3 days to get a response? I don't text you enough
No, Will's not a super fast texter back.
I'm not.
No,
I'm really
because
not.
he's busy doing.
No, when I'm out here, I do try to leave my phone, put my phone down as much as I can. That is
Riley.
true. Oh,
don't
dude.
think so.
Oh, Riley. I haven't heard Riley in a while.
All right, guys. Before we get to the guest, can I just let's?
Oh,
let's-
no.
Yeah, let's remind everybody. We're very excited about this news,
yes,
y'all.
yes.
We are bringing SmartLess to one of the most iconic spots in the world, and no, we're not talking about Sean's cereal bowl. We're talking about the Hollywood Bowl.
Bowl.
Jason.
So if you're in that Hollywood
is it?
area,
When is
it's
it?
This fall, you know when it is. You're so helpful the way you toss to me. This fall, Saturday, November 15th, here in Los Angeles. If you're in the area, Saturday, November 15th.
And when
at
did
the
tickets go
Hollywood
on
Bowl.
sale then?
The ticket, God, again, really will.
I know.
Friday, September 12th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Tickets go on sale. Friday, September 12th. Come see us live.
Yeah, before
okay?
Jason's bedtime, okay?
Yeah.
Before I go to bed. Or I can sleep on stage. It's fun to see me
And
sleep.
what are some of the things you think we can see? I think that we're going to have some guests. We're going to have some.
You're going to have a guest. I'm going to have a guest. Sean
right.
does not get a guest. this
But I'll
time.
bring a bowl of cereal just to
You can
just
Sean-
close the
cereal
loop
and
on the
ask some
little.
good questions.
That's what a loop closer you are. You've been closing loops since 1970.
Not just
Nice.
Fruit Loops. Okay. All right. So listen. So once again, that's this fall at the Hollywood Bowl, November 15th. You can start getting tickets on September 12th.
And our listeners have a chance to get tickets first, right? Our pre-sale begins Tuesday, September 9th.
September 9th.
Yeah, at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Visit smartless.com/live and enter our code. And you guessed it. It's Tracy, Tracey, for first access. That's our listeners with a pre-sale chance. September 9th, 10 a.m. smartless.com/live. Guys.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Friday 12th.
And can you tell me who your guests are?
No, it's supposed to be a surprise, ding dong.
It's a surprise.
It's going to be a surprise.
And it'll be a surprise to the audience too for the first time, right? Well, I guess these live shows, it's not the first time, but like.
And JB, you were just at the bowl too, right?
I was just at the bowl watching some classical music with Amanda and the girls, and they hated me for they got some nice eye rest. But Granddad was really enjoying it. I had a good time.
I know. Classical music.
But we're gonna liven things up there on Saturday, November 15th. So get your tickets starting on the 12th of September or pre-sale on the 9th.
It's gonna be a brilliant.
It's gonna be a gorgeous. Okay, let's get to our guest. Come on.
Coming overseas to see it.
All right, here comes our guest.
Yes, our guest. Our
All right,
guest.
by the way, circling back to Google, here's somebody you don't have to Google. Because
you know what? The CEO of Google.
Could you imagine? No, she's better than that. She's bigger than that. She's amazing.
Bigger than Google?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a little intimidated by her.
Buckle up.
She's one of those people who makes you wake up, quit complaining, get your
Andrew
shit
Martin.
together. No. Back in college, she proposed to her boyfriend. They got married. They're still together. Behind her signature black-rimmed glasses, she's a podcast powerhouse, a full-blown mogul, and the #1 best-selling author in the world right now. Please welcome the 5
Mel Robbins.
That's it. 5-second queen herself, Mel
Let
Robbins.
them.
You said my name. Oh my God. I literally was like, if these fucking losers are going to spend 50 minutes figuring out who this is and they never guess it's me, I would just shrink.
Can you believe
into
these fucking
anonymity.
losers? I was thinking the same thing about these fucking losers. We're on the same. I'm not in that. I'm separate from that. But thank you.
You're welcome. And I got news for you guys. Sean called me. He's sick of your bullshit. He can't change you, so
Are you
he
leaving
called
the show,
in the
Sean?
heavy.
Right,
yes,
yeah.
this is an intervention.
This is the
That's what's
transition.
happening.
Mel, you're taking over for
Sean
Sean?
Robbins. She's adopted me. I'm Sean Robbins.
Oh, good luck. Good luck having him.
Me and Robin.
What an honor to have you on the show, Mel.
Yeah.
This is very, very nice of you, slumming it with us idiots.
I know you are slumming it.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly was blown away because I know one of the criteria is you have to guess who the guest is. And I thought, unless Sean says she's constantly ahead of us on the rankings in the podcast charts. You probably wouldn't
That
guess
is
it.
true. By the way,
Who's looking?
That came up. I was just discussing you last week with some fancy folks, and they were singing your praises, and they were telling me about the whole "let them" thing, and so I'm very eager to hear.
Yes, I can't wait for you guys to hear about it.
Yeah,
I know.
come on, let it
really
make
cool.
us,
I like
make
the let
us
them
more
thing
smart.
too. Oh, there it is behind you.
Well, do this first, Mel, if you don't mind jumping in. First of all, thanks for being on here. Huge fan. I love how you speak, what you speak about, how you motivate me, how you motivate everybody. Like I can't get enough of it. I really
This is you
thrive off
motivated.
of it. This is me motivated. No shower. I look fantastic.
Shit.
But
God.
Mel, can you first talk before we get to let them, which I love, and I can't wait for you to tell Jason what that is and Will. What about the 5-second rule? Can you just go over the 5-second rule? Because for people who don't know, it sounds like obviously what you do when you drop the food on the floor and blah, blah, blah.
Well, it is kind of like that. So, I think the first thing to understand is that everything that I talk about, I learned the hard way by screwing up my own life. And I don't think any of us wake up in the morning. Well, Will might, but most of us don't wake up in the morning and go, you know what I'm going to do today? Today I'm going to fuck up my life. I think I'm going to drink too much and lie to people and lose my job. What ends up happening to most of us is over time, you spend too much time thinking about what you need to do and not doing what you need to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I found myself in a situation when I was 41 years old, 3 kids under the age of 10, where my husband had gone into the restaurant business.
Right.
And
Lost almost $1 million.
Oh, yeah. Like complete idiots. We secured it with our life savings. Right. And the restaurant business was great until 2008 hit. And like everybody else, the world turns upside down and we found ourselves $800,000 in debt.
Right. Yeah.
The liens hit the house. I lose my job. And I couldn't get myself out of bed. And let's be honest, getting out of bed is a relatively easy thing to do when you think about the mechanics. I mean, by the time you're 41 years old, you've done it for 41 years.
Right.
But the simplest things in life can seem impossible when you're overwhelmed or stressed out or anxious or you have so many problems. Or depressed or whatever. And so I just found myself in the situation where I would literally wake up every morning and stare at the ceiling and basically be like, I hate my life. I hate my husband. I don't know how I got here. We're fucked. And the more I thought about the problems, the more I felt like a human pot roast marinating in bed. And it became harder and harder to get out of bed. And, you know, honestly, I knew what to do. And I think this is one of the biggest things about life, that life is simple. We just seem to make it very complicated.
Yeah.
You can know what to do in any situation. You guys talk about the Google, just go to Google or that ChatGTP thing and put in whatever it is that you want, and it'll spit out what you need to do. Making yourself do it is what feels impossible. And so one night I was watching TV. It was a Monday night in February 2008. And you literally are one decision away from a different life. That is the heart of what I talk about, the power of your decisions. And I was giving myself that pep talk, you know, I don't know if you guys have you can give each other pep talks. When you're giving one to yourself, you're kind of screwed, where you're like, all right, that's it. Tomorrow it's the new you, woman. You got to pull your shit together. You got to stop being an asshole to Chris. You got to put down the alcohol. You got to get those kids on the bus. By God, you got to get a job. You got to open the bills that have been piling up for 6 months. And when that alarm rings, you can't lay there and marinate in your fears and hit the snooze button 6 times. You, woman, have got to get out of bed. And honest to God, a rocket ship launched across the television screen. It was probably like at the end of a SmartLess mobile commercial, you know, like launch right in there.
No, but it's not a bad idea, though. For
Steal it. Take it.
Just write that down.
Take it.
And steal it is my idea.
It is when you claim it like that. So I literally thought, oh my God, it's a sign from God. That's it. Tomorrow morning.
What? Just a rocket on the TV? On the TV? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, it was probably the 4 bourbon Manhattans I had that gave me that idea, because it was kind of stupid, but I was drinking a lot back then. And so the next morning, Tuesday morning, the alarm rings, and here's the fatal mistake everybody makes. There is this moment where you know what you should do. You should speak up. You should start the damn thing. You should quit the job. You should end the relationship. You should go to the gym. But instead of doing it, you stop and think about how you feel about doing it. And within 5 seconds flat in that hesitation, you literally switch gears in your brain. I didn't know this at the time. I do now. But the longer you think about it, the less likely you're going to do it. And in about 5 seconds, you lose all motivation.
Wow.
And your whole life plays out in this 5-second window.
Isn't there science to this too, right?
Tons of science. I mean, now I know the science. I didn't know it then. Then I was just hungover, waking up to a life that was a nightmare and habits of avoidance. And so,
what was the thing you saw at night on TV? It wasn't literally a rocket.
It was a rocket ship, but at the end of a commercial, it was like launched, and I was so drunk, I was like, "Oh my God, it's God! Okay, I'll get out of bed. I'll launch myself out of bed so fast. I'll move like a rocket. I won't be in there when the anxiety and the depression hits. I'm going to move."
You took it as a metaphor, and you took it to heart, and it stayed with you the next morning, and up you went.
Yep.
And you inside.
Well, I counted backwards, and that's the part.
What would have happened if you'd seen an image of a sinking ship?
Oh, God. Right there. Done. We're out. We're just going to clock out now.
Just for a listener, I don't know.
Or just the flaming Hindenburg. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, Jason, very astute point, you have to count backwards.
Okay.
It's not just moving in 5 seconds. The counting backwards is critical, what researchers call
like a launch.
Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to count backwards. It doesn't work if you count up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't work because you've been saying that ever since you learned how to count in whatever language you learned how to count. When you count backwards, you have to focus for a moment. And that brings your prefrontal cortex online, which is the part of the brain that helps you make decisions. It's the part of the brain that helps you learn new behavior. It's the part of the brain that you need to use if you're going to lock in new habits. And I had a habit of just hitting the snooze button and avoiding everything. This new habit was about taking action, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. before you feel ready.
So the countdown is supposed to be, this is how many seconds I have before this thing I'm ruminating about, I have to get out of it. Is that?
Yes.
Before I become complacent.
Right.
Yes.
So I have to set this up. So I do this countdown, this final countdown.
Oh, sing it, Will. Do
Go.
it. Let's
Go.
see an illusion.
I'll never do it. I'll never do it.
Because I don't want to.
Let 'em.
I don't want to pay for it.
Jason, they don't get the reference, which is great.
No, but I do, and I love you. And you were fantastic on that show. You should have gotten an Emmy every year, Will.
So you
skinny.
do so you so skinny. So you do the countdown, and the first day it works.
Yeah, I get out of bed. I'm like 5:4. For the first time in 6 months, I was out of bed when the alarm rang.
What'd you do? What was the first thing you knocked down? Did you put on the Lululemons and you got out there and you just did a
I walked into the kitchen.
fist walk?
No motivation for that yet. I'm just like, I'm low bar here. We're just talking like get out of bed. I
love a
literally
low
walk
bar.
into the kitchen and my poor husband's standing there in front of the
Son
fridge.
of a
And-
bitch,
What are you
Chris,
doing now?
He lost all that fucking money and he's down there and he's probably making an Egg McMuffin.
Correct, motherfucker. And so you know how that thing happens where you see somebody you love and you just want to kill them? Well,
Every day for me.
Yes.
Every day.
yes.
No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
I love you, Amanda.
No, I'm not kidding. No.
Yeah.
The people that you love the most are the most annoying.
Sure.
And so I just went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 because I knew he was trying his best. It wasn't like he was trying to fail.
Yeah.
And my anger wasn't helping. And so counting backwards interrupted that pattern of snapping and screaming and reacting and gave me this ability to be in charge of what I was doing instead of constantly letting my emotions dictate. See, this is what everybody gets wrong about motivation. Motivation's garbage. It's never there when you need it. You got to learn how to make yourself do things that you don't feel like doing. And if you ever did that, you'd have everything you've ever wanted.
And so you I'm assuming you put one foot in front of the other, and I'm not asking for a TikTok of the day, but what was there, for those out there that are having trouble making this crucial first step, what was the tangible thing that you did first, and from that you built on that progress and exponentially put more and more, inertia down the road?
It's a great question. Everybody hates the answer. Like literally, changing your life isn't glamorous, it's grueling. And it does not happen overnight. It happens over time. And I always say, because people are like, how did you do everything that you're doing? Because that was 16 years ago. And so the person that everybody sees now and what I do out in the world is 16 years in the making. And I say that what you see now is a result of one thing. I taught myself how to get out of bed on days when I didn't fucking feel like it.
Right.
That's the secret. That's it. Because if you can force yourself out of bed when you don't feel like it because of the depression or the anxiety or the overwhelm or the hangover or whatever it may be.
And the body feeds off that first progress, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
And now back to the show.
Now, Mel, let me ask you this, and I like it. I like this area a lot, and I like the way that you talk about it. I like that your passion for it and your excitement, and I understand and appreciate the way that you were able to do that first day and see a result and feel a change in your body and in your mind and in your spirit, et cetera. All those things connected. And then so you do it again, I imagine. I'm sort of skipping forward. You do it a bunch, and you really start to see results. And then you think to yourself, other people can benefit from this too, if I can do it. Or eventually you get to a point where you think that other people can benefit from the lessons that you learned the hard way, et cetera. But you also have the benefit of this momentum that you've got doing it. So there are other people who go, well, yeah, it works for Mel because she's getting feedback from her pushing this out to the world. I'm not getting that same feedback on a global level, and I'm not getting that feedback. I'm just, a person in Cleveland who's doing it, and nobody's recognizing that I'm doing it. So yeah, it works for you, and you're kicking ass doing it. You're at the top of the game. But if you're just Joe Schmo,
But 16 years ago, she wasn't getting that, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
It was 3 years of using it in secret before I ever told anybody about it. Because let's face it, I didn't know why it worked.
Right.
I'm $800,000 in debt.
Right.
I am barely making the ends meet. What business do I have telling anybody anything? And so I used it in secret.
And by the way, was that an important part of it, keeping it secret? In other words, holding your power and not bragging to your partner, hey, today I'm going to start working out. Like, I find that sometimes my stick-to-itiveness is better if I don't share what my goals and my plans for progress are, and I keep it inside and I just do it myself, and I've only got myself to answer to. And then once I get some momentum going, then I share, like, hey, by the way, I've been working out for a week, or by the way, I haven't had sugar for a week or something.
Jason, do you keep a lot of feelings inside, though?
I do.
I know you do.
It's gonna burst. But was that an important part? Was this a private sort of initial stage?
No, I told Chris, my husband Chris, but literally it was self-preservation. I mean, we were in a free fall for crying out loud.
What did Chris say? Was Chris like, okay, cool?
As long as you're not bitching at me and screaming at me, I'll try anything. If this keeps you calming off my ass so that I'm working as hard as I can, woman, finally you see it.
Oh, Chris. Now I mean.
Poor Chris. I know. Fuck Chris, okay? Come on. He's a nice guy.
Your TED Talk from 2011 now has over 30 million views from 2011.
Ooh, I want to see it.
And is this what it's was that what it's mostly about? Is the 5-second rule?
No. Okay, so here's the story. So 3 years go by. I'm using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to get out of bed, to network and get a job, to open up the bills, to just do the basic blocking and tackling that we all need to do because nobody's coming. Yeah. You can sit around and hope that somebody's going to come and fix this. They're not. And the sooner you recognize you got to stop waiting to feel ready, and you've got to get to a point in your life where you're at doesn't work for you anymore. So you're going to do something about it. So for 3 years, I'm just working at it. Chris is going back into the restaurant business, renegotiating leases, working 100 hours a week. I'm finding odd job after odd job so we can just get the bankruptcy off our back and keep ourselves afloat with 3 kids under the age of 10.
Plus, you're literally just looking to make a paycheck. You're not driving towards some North Star career-wise, I'm going to build a podcast and it's going to be a big success. No, you didn't have any sort of direction. Okay.
Absolutely not. And also, I think when you get to a point where you really screw up your own life, because nobody makes a vision board and is like, hey, let's put images of bankruptcy and divorce and alcoholism on it.
Right,
it's on the back. It's on the back.
And plus, friends and family had invested in the restaurant business. And so I can't exactly go around trashing and complaining. And so we're just
you're looking to pay them back and get your head above water financially.
Yes. We're in survival mode. Gotcha. And you're pretty incredible and resourceful when you're in survival mode. And so a buddy calls me. We still have $800,000 in debt. We still have liens on the house 3 years later. We are still just making the ends meet. And a buddy calls me from college and says, hey, there's a person who is putting on an event in San Francisco that I know that's looking for somebody who's changed their job a lot. And I thought about you. And that's not really a compliment, but she said, they're offering 2 first-class plane tickets and 2 nights at the St. Regis. All you got to do is talk about career change. Now, I had never given a speech on a stage in my life. I'd taken a public high school speaking class, but I had been a lawyer, a public defender in Manhattan, and so I'd worked in courtrooms, but I'd never given a speech. When you're that in debt, that sounds like a free vacation.
Yeah,
right?
No kidding,
and so I'm like, Chris, we're going to San Francisco. Mom, Dad, come watch the kids.
It sounds like a free vacation in any situation, to be honest.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't really think through the part of 700 people in an auditorium.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I get out on that stage, and it happens to be one of the first ever TEDx conferences. And they weren't
Where do you get the balls for no stage fright and all that?
Oh, you're watching a 21-minute long panic attack. I want you to look close at that TED Talk. I've got this neck rash that people get when they're drunk or they're nervous a minute in.
Oh, yeah. No, I used to get that a ton.
I am darting around the stage, and this is not about the 5-second rule. It's about career change. And I get to minute 19, and I forget how to end the talk. And I look out and I'm like, oh, I know. I do this thing. I call it the 5-second rule. The moment you have an instinct to act, you got to move within 5 seconds or else your brain will kill your motivation. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, here's my email if you have questions. And I leave.
Yeah.
Now.
You gave your email out publicly?
Oh, I mean, I'm just a normal person trying to get a free vacation by giving a speech about something I don't know anything about. And so
right.
A year goes by.
Did they pick up incidentals? Sorry.
No. A year goes by. Seriously, this is now 2012. A year goes by. I have a job. Chris is still like trying to we still have liens on the house, and TEDx decides to put it online. I don't know this. Another year goes by, 2013. I start getting emails at that email address.
Yeah.
Wow.
People start to write to me from around the world. Mel, I've used 54321 to lose 100 pounds, 54321 to get out of bed despite the depression. I used 54321 to stop myself from jumping over this ferry and find the courage to ask for help. And I was so blown away. This answers your question, Will, about like, at one point did you start talking about it, that while working a full-time job for several years, I would come home at night and pour a glass of wine and answer these emails from strangers. Wow. Because I felt obligated to figure out, why does this thing work?
Right.
And so I started researching it and talking to people.
And simultaneously building a following and a mailing list that you could then sort of transfer over into the podcast?
Started to, not yet. Like 2012, if you can scroll back manually through Instagram. You have to do it manually. It's just pictures of my kids and barbecues. And, I didn't know normal people could make a living giving keynote speeches. And so people started to ask me to speak in 2013, 2014. And I went and spoke for free. And then there was this moment in 2014 or 2013 rather, a person came up to me after speaking for free at a big women's conference and said, "Hey, did you get your check for this thing yet?" And I was like, "Check? You got paid for this? Am I the only idiot here who's doing this for free?" And that's when I'm like, I got to figure this out.
Do you think that when you were younger, that this kind of thinking was inside you the whole time when you were growing up? You just didn't know it.
That's what I wondered too.
And because I remember your mom used to say, I read that she said, "Fix it." Wait. Fix it yourself and
pull up your big girl panties and
figure it out and fix it yourself or something like that. Right?
Yep. I think so. I come from like Midwestern farming stock. And so when the chores need to get done, the chores need to get done. Like my mom grew up on a big farm. My dad grew up in a working class family. And so there's just sort of a pragmatism and a focus on doing things instead of talking about things.
Yeah, so that was kind of in you then at the when you're
and touching bottom often brings out the best parts of ourselves. Because you need it.
Touching bottoms has completely revolutionized my life.
Oh,
touching your bottom or touching bottom?
Sorry, what was the question? No, I do suspect that you do seem to have that. That it's not it doesn't feel like a leap. Now, of course, we're catching you after years of doing this and living this way and transforming your life. But I think that I suspect there was a kernel of that, like Sean, kind of what you were saying, that there was a kernel of that in there. And whether it's your Midwestern roots or your blue collar, I think also you're pretty sharp, so. Well,
yeah, you say you're a public defender in New York. I mean, so you're no ding dong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I've done some pretty ding-dong things.
No, she went to law school.
Being smart doesn't mean you're actually smart about how you live your life.
No, but you know discipline. You went through law school. Like there's how to to ask yourself to really bring it if you need to. Yeah.
Right, and when you had ADHD when you were a kid. But you didn't know that it was ADHD, correct? Yeah. But I think sometimes that's a superpower later on in life. Like I just saw this thing like on TikTok or something a long time ago about. We talked about this the other day. I know, I'm between the truth on TikTok.
I haven't read that book yet.
And it said something about like childhood trauma or childhood something. Sometimes in children create ADD as a coping mechanism. They can't leave their house. They can't leave where because that's your shelter and your food and your family and whatever. But because of some trauma where you can't leave, your brain's trying to constantly figure out how to problem solve. And in doing so, you develop ADD or ADHD.
I think that was Gabor Mate that talked about the connection between.
Hang on, let me finish. Gabor Mate, I think, said that. Yeah, go ahead.
I had a delicious mate the other day.
I had a Gabor latte too last time I was in Naples.
What do you think of that, Mel?
Listen, I will say this, Mel. To that ADHD thing, it sounds like from the little again that I know of it, but I know when it comes to people that I'm related to who've been diagnosed with having deficits when it comes to executive function. And I was going to say that earlier. There is that moment of, and it is one of the symptoms of a particular type of ADHD where you know that you have to do it and you can't start it. And that's an executive function deficiency.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
It can also, to Sean's point, it can also be a trauma response, that there's this freeze.
Yeah. Well, Sean's point was so muddled. It was about TikTok, and he was like, something, and someone said
I was
something
tracking.
sometimes.
I was tracking. The highly intelligent here can track to what Sean's saying. I think like the demeaning him is a way that you deflect it.
Thank you, Mel.
You're welcome, darling. So to the point on ADHD, is super interesting. The majority of women today, because women and men and boys and girls experience ADHD at the exact same levels, but women and girls go profoundly underdiagnosed because when it was discovered in the 1970s, they only studied boys. Yeah. And when a boy has ADHD, yes. And so when a boy has, this is going to explain marriages. This is going to explain your sisters. Like, just buckle up, because this is one of those things that every time I explain it, people go, holy fuck, that's me, or that's my wife. Holy. Yeah. And so here's the short backstory. So they only study boys. And when boys have ADHD, which is like a structural thing that's not working in the switching mechanism of your brain, you can focus, you just have trouble directing it at times. Yeah. And so boys are a little bit more fidgety. And you kind of notice it because they're fidgety, they interrupt, they have trouble directing their focus. Girls have the opposite symptoms. They tend to daydream, they get quieter, and they get harder on themselves. Now, here's what gets interesting and really life-changing for people to learn. If you have undiagnosed ADHD or dyslexia or executive functioning, what happens as the primary symptom is you develop anxiety because you are sitting in a classroom or in a setting where you're being asked to do things all day long that your brain can't structurally do right now. And so anxiety develops. So there's a huge generation of women, they call us the lost generation, of women that were diagnosed with anxiety in our high school and our college years, and then medicated with something to quell the anxiety. But the underlying issue was always undiagnosed ADHD and dyslexia.
Well, it's funny you say that, Mel. So I had a conversation with my own dad because I was talking, there was somebody in my family who encountered this, and this is within the last 3 months. And I said, when I was a teenager, and when I was, a young teenager, especially adolescent, in the early 80s, I would get tested a bunch, and they say, "Oh, he's functioning very well. We don't understand why he's not doing his work." And I was kind of labeled a bad kid. And I said, "Dad, and this is something a conversation I had with my dad at I was almost 55 at the time. I'm now 55. My dad's 86, and I said, I now recognize, in hearing what this doctor said, this behavior in myself, and I feel like." And of course, what ends up happening is you either get prescribed stuff. I'm talking for a boy, and I can't speak, but or you self-medicate.
Yes.
And that is one of the, to try to quell the symptoms.
Is there something one can do for attention deficit, or that is different than medication? I mean, is there something? Is there therapy that one can go through?
There's all kinds. It's a great question. There's all kinds of things you can do, and I think kind of just understanding the way that your brain works or learns helps you do all kinds of things. Whether there's systems for organization, there's certain types of interventions that they do with kids that really help develop and train. Like our son ended up, and this is how I found out at the age of 47 that I was both dyslexic and had ADHD.
Wow. The
same way that most women do. Our kids start struggling in school like you did, Will. They get labeled a behavioral issue. You then go through all of the neuropsych evaluation testing, and then you sit back and go,
yeah,
that seems a lot like me. Yeah. And I literally turned to my pediatrician and said, Mark, why didn't you, do you think I have ADHD? And he was like, Mel, of course you have ADHD. You're the most ADHD parent I know. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, I'm not your doctor.
Is it something that you inherit from your parents?
They say it can be. They actually say that it can be impacted by what's going on when you're in utero and the stress levels of the parent or the mom, and whether or not she's under a lot of stress, because it relates to your fight or flight nervous system as well. And it impacts, the way it was explained to me, because again, like everything in life, it's like bad things need to happen. And then I realize, okay, I'm fucked. I got to figure this out. And then I turn it into a research project. And then I try to explain what I've learned in the simplest ways. So anybody else, if I can save them the headache and the heartache that I went through for 30, 40 years, not knowing what I was really dealing with, just like you will, not knowing what you're dealing with and self-medicating and acting out and feeling, hypercritical of yourself. If I can just know what this thing is, that I'm not deficient, I just have a brain that works differently. And with ADHD, I would go to this, when you are in college or high school and you're like, all right, I got to study. And you can go to the library where you're going to see your friends, or you go to the stacks. And so I would go to the stacks and I'm like, okay, I got to study. And I would sit down and I'd be ready to lock in. And honest to God, I could not for the life of me, just like what you were talking about, Will, I couldn't make myself do it. And worse, it's like I could hear the mouse pooping in the corner. I could hear my stomach. And so that mechanism that, like an orchestra conductor, think about all the input of sound like an orchestra warming up. ADHD, there's this conductor in your brain that's like tap, 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 tap. Okay, let's bring it all down. Now let's lift up the sound of the strings only. If you don't have that little conductor in your brain, the whole world sounds like an orchestra warming up. And you can't both direct your attention in certain instances, and you can't silence other input. And that's kind of what's happening.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's super fascinating. But there's lots you can do, and you don't have to do medication.
And so to that point, half of the fix is actually getting the diagnosis, knowing what you have. Then it's your choice whether you want to medicate or not. But at least you know what it is, and so you can start to search for a remedy that might be different than medication, or at least just start adjusting your behavior and trying some different stuff on, yeah?
Yeah, and having some grace for yourself. Like, it drives my husband crazy that the faucet's running, or that my sink, I don't know what your guys' bathrooms look like, but my husband's sink looks like the sink at a Zen hotel. Mine looks like you tipped over a Walgreens aisle on top of it.
Still?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Wait, is the cap off the toothpaste on you all the time? Yeah,
kinda.
And you have
and then you
dusty
have to
cosmetics
rip that
all over the
nub
place.
off,
That gets
dry
JB.
knob. Yes.
Come on, Mel.
I couldn't do that,
Let's get it together. Okay.
But Mel, I learned all these I learned all these tricks along the way that I would do, and I was saying to telling somebody before that I have a thing about keys in my wallet, and I don't lose. So I have a dish, and everywhere I live and everywhere I go, everything goes back in the same spot. My bathroom is very clean, and I have taught myself all these things to do, these little routines that help keep me
create order.
Yeah, that create order.
That's awesome, because the mind is like this, so the order in the environment helps your mind settle.
I love that.
And I have a friend. I have one friend. He deals with anxiety in this way, and he ends up he has a bottle of Xanax, and he puts it in the elevator just in case it breaks down.
Well, you should actually send him this episode.
He keeps a bottle in there.
No, Will, you
Instead of
should
getting
send him
the
this
root of it.
episode. You should send him this episode, because the single biggest coping mechanism for anxiety is avoidance. And the more you avoid something, the bigger the anxiety gets. Because when you avoid something,
Sean,
you're telling yourself, I can't handle this. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 helps.
It's Sean. It's Sean.
Yeah.
And we will be right back.
And now back to the show.
Tell us how is let them something that is a cousin to what we're talking about, or directly a part of it?
It's again, great question. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 helps you push through all the resistance, the fear, the hesitation, the anxiety to take the action that changes everything. But I always wonder, why the hell are we so resistant anyway? Well, it turns out, for me anyway, and seems like for millions and millions of people that this book has resonated with, the main source of resistance and fear in our lives is our fear of other people. And the let them theory was something that I discovered, and it has fundamentally changed my life. I feel like I have lived my life backwards for the first 54 years, because I have been consumed by making sure other people are happy, by worrying about their opinions, navigating my day-to-day life based on people's expectations, their moods, what they want, versus truly learning that there's a different way to live. And the let them theory is ultimately a modern version of Stoicism, Buddhism, the Serenity Prayer. It's a book about control and power, what you have control over and what you do not. And 2 simple words, let them, will free you from the exhausting cycle of trying to manage people's thoughts, their opinions, manage their expectations. There's a better way to live. Let them.
Let them
think
what's
what
the
they
basic
want.
tenet? What's the basic tenet of it? Sorry.
Is it let them have their judgment? Let them be upset. It's none of my business. Let me just take care of number 1.
Well, here's yes and. So there's a second part, let me, but the basic tenet, Will, is that in life, there are only 3 things you can control. Only 3. You can control what you think about, you can control what you do or don't do, and you can control what you do in response to your emotions.
Right.
And any psychologist will tell you, when you focus on things you can't control, and the number one thing in life that you will never be able to control is other people, what they say, what they do, what they believe, whether or not they change, whether or not they're motivated, whether or not they're anxious, whether or not they get sober. You can't control other people, and yet we exhaust ourselves and waste so much time and energy allowing meaningless shit and other people's stuff to drain your most precious resource.
Well, Mel, and part of that too is you also can't control. There's not enough time for me to go around and everybody I meet and tell them how they need to treat me as well. That's kind of part of it for me.
Hey, that's interesting.
And I was talking about this morning with some people. I was saying, we've talked about it on here before. Part of that also for me is and it's people and it's things. I can't be at the effect of circumstances because I got to make my own weather in a sense. Because if I'm at the effect of circumstances, man, that's tough sledding. That is really tough sledding. Do you know what I mean?
So are you talking about like if you're in your car and traffic builds up, and for most people, they're going to grip the wheel and get pissed off about the traffic. And the truth is you can't actually control the traffic.
Yeah.
And so why would you allow something like that to drain your time and energy?
100%. And I'll take it a step further. And this is sometimes where I lose people. I'll say, when there's a lot of traffic and you've come a long way and then people are trying to get in and you're like, and most people are like, fuck you, I've been waiting for a mile, I'm not going to let you in. And if you let people in, I guarantee you traffic will open up for you. It works for me every time. The more I give it away, the more I go ahead. It works every time. It's the craziest thing. I don't know what to tell you.
It's not just the traffic opens up, something opens up inside you. You recognize.
Well, that's getting to love. And then that works with love too.
It does, but it's something else first. Because most of us are really selfish. And when we say let them in, traffic's either going to open up or it's not. And I do believe what you believe, that it does start to shift things. But what it shifts first is you recognize that your energy and your time is worth something. And when you start to value and protect your time and energy from people's expectations, people's moods, people's rude behavior, traffic, long lines, you value and have more time and energy. You become more in control and more empowered as a human being. And then everything starts to change because you're not at the effect of all the shit going on outside of you.
That's right. And if I'm stingy with my attention, with my love, with my kindness, I will get stinginess from the universe in return. That is a lock for me anyway. And I think that feeling of feeling unloved is generally because I'm not pushing out enough. Anyway, sorry.
No, go ahead. Well, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sean, what was your question?
No, Sean, any theater stories?
Let him, Sean. Let him. Go ahead. What was your question, Sean?
She did give you a good one up there on stage. Didn't know how to end it. She gave you a great theater story.
What do you do, Mel, as far as let them go in this world that we live in about social media and comments and people coming at you with, what's that?
Nothing.
What did you
Let him.
No, just sounds great.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, with people, like for you, I'm sure you get all kinds of comments, and I know other people, they get, comments that they can't, they thrive on the positive comments and they, lose themselves in the negative ones. So what about let them for those? And for yourself, by the way, for yourself.
Well, you can never control what somebody else thinks, Sean.
Right.
So let them think what they're going to think. Let them not like
fine.
you.
I just wanted to put that out there.
No,
yeah.
I mean
a lot
that
of people,
because
it's what's destroying, a lot of society today. Or people actually put weight into what people say about them and to them on social media and
it goes
everywhere
even
else.
more than that, Sean. Because let's just unpack this. So let's say that you are pulling out Instagram and you're about to post something, and you pick a photo, and you're like, oh, not that photo, and then you put the filter on it, and then you go to write the caption, and then you put the emoji, and then you backspace. And you're thinking, is this too much? Is this for whom? Before you even express yourself, you're already jumping into the brain of another human being and trying to anticipate what they're going to think. Right. And here's the truth. There is nothing you can post that will actually guarantee somebody has a positive or negative thought because you can't control it.
Yeah. Right. So and even if you could, you can't get them all.
Just let them do what they're going to do. Let them unfollow me. Let them misunderstand. Let them be disappointed. Let them.
Way to go, Mel. Here come the dick pics.
Yeah, here, let them. I don't have to look at. Let me decide what I'm going to look at.
Here we go.
I'll take them. Let them. The poor interns that are now in the DMs. Thanks, Will.
That's so funny. Okay, so wait, I got some good stuff here. Wait. What's the most shocking coaching request you've ever received? Because you do private coaching too, right?
Oh, I don't do any private coaching.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you did one-on-one coaching with wealthy people.
No. Don't have time for that anymore. But the most shocking request, I got a request. None of them are shocking.
Yeah.
They really aren't, because when it's not you, it's easy to give people advice because you're not emotionally attached to what's happening. And if you listen closely to anybody, you can really tell what they're grappling with. And what most of us are grappling with is either the fear of disappointing somebody.
Yeah.
Or the fear that if you do this thing, somehow people are going to judge you and you're going to end up alone.
Right.
And so everything comes back down to this fear of what other people are going to think about you.
Right, for sure.
And how their actions dictate your value. And here's the secret. The secret is you have to like you. Right. And you will only like yourself if you can learn how to let other people be unhappy and learn how to let people be disappointed and let people have their opinions and let me really be clear about the decisions that make me proud of myself. Because when you're proud of yourself, you kind of don't give a shit what other people
right.
say.
Okay. So for a lot of people that are fans of yours or people that read your books or whatever, you come off as this fearless. You have fearlessness and confidence, and so you must have some self-doubt about something.
Every day. I was literally sitting here going, am I going to have a moment where I kind of have an accident in my pants like Jason did in the green room, in Colbert?
Oh, that's a great
because
callback.
I'm so nervous about meeting these guys. Like,
so
I
great.
literally... Yeah, well, actually, you and I are going to be on Jimmy Fallon on the 17th of September, and I'm sorting through your garbage to see if you've hidden underwear in there under a Diet Coke can. Get the DC out of the way, man.
I can't wait to meet you. Well, I was going to ask this same question. Like, are you enjoying that your state of confidence and sort of leaning forward into things actually creates the privilege of new anxieties? As you reach and hurtle forward, you're now seeing a whole new level of complexities and challenges that are a result of you leaning forward and breaking
in the
through.
open too, like to a broader audience.
I'm really grateful that all this happened later in life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really am, because, when you go through an experience where you literally almost lose everything that matters to you, whether that's your marriage or your family or your home or your sanity.
Or in your case, all of it, right?
Yeah, all of it. Like,
all of it. And being a parent, I mean, that must have ratcheted it up too. Worried about the welfare of your kids.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine.
Our kids would come downstairs at night after Chris and I had been fighting and screaming at each other, and they would find us collapsed in chairs, like hungover.
Yeah.
That's how they you're not winning at the parenting game when your kids wake you up so they can catch the bus.
Yeah.
Like, it was not good. And so all of this that you see now, whether it's the massive scale of the podcast or the #1 book, I mean, this book is on track to be the most successful nonfiction book ever launched. 6 million copies in 6 months is what this book is.
Awesome.
And part of it is because I'm just reminding you guys of what you know to be true. Like, Stoicism is not a new idea. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, what's happening out there is not where the power is. Your power is in your response to it. But these are all intellectual ideas. What I love about saying let them and then let me, which is let them is where you release the control over something you can't control, and let me is where you take the power back and focus on what you can control, which is your response to what's happening. This is just a tool, but it reminds people of what they know to be true since the beginning of time. And what I'm grateful for is that having almost lost everything I care about and having just clawed my way out of debt and built this just brick by brick over the last 16 years, I have stayed laser focused on what really matters. I live in the middle of nowhere in Vermont. I have no interest in the bigness aspect of all of it, because you guys know, the second something hits, everybody thinks they know what you should do next. Everybody sees something bigger for you. Yeah. I would like more time with my husband and my kids. I would like to, enjoy some of this success, meaning I'm not actually working all the time. Yeah, and so for me, I think the anxiety or the issues that I face is more around just saying no and letting people have their expectations about what the podcast should become or what I should do next, and staying laser focused, not on up here, but on what's right in front of me right now. Because if you lose sight of what got you to where you are, you basically blow up everything you created. And so I am staying very focused on waking up every day and just making decisions that make me feel proud of myself and doing the best that I can and giving people a little bit of grace and focusing on what I can control and what I can't. And then the rest will take care of itself,
I love that. What's the single thing that people think will make them happy but won't? In your opinion? I
think the single thing that people think will make them happy that doesn't is achieving the thing. There's so much research that, when you get the $1 million, you're going to be happy. When you win the race, when you get the person, it's the pursuit of it. Everybody needs something that gets you out of bed. Everybody needs something that you're excited about, whether it's video games or it's bird watching or it's volunteering. If you don't have something that you're pursuing that's bigger than you, then you're always going to be stuck in that sort of survival autopilot, same old moment.
Yeah, you got to give yourself an opportunity to get proud of yourself, as you said earlier, and that's usually a pursuit of something.
Yeah, but I think that for me, I would imagine, I would suggest that part of that is a spiritual experience.
Very much so.
And I think that's the truth. It's funny. I was watching sort of
Love Island.
Yeah, have you seen it?
It's the episode you're on, Jason.
Yeah, no, it's on. No, it was the sort of the few days leading up to the Open, the British Open, the golf, and Scotty Scheffler gave this press conference that I found to be fascinating. And he was being asked all these questions. He's world number one. And he has been dominating golf for the last couple of years. And he gave this answer, and the room was silent. And he sort of said, part of me thinks I spent all my life to win these tournaments, to win this tournament, the Byron Nelson in my hometown, to have a few minutes of and then I realized, what's the point? And he went on from there, and I found it absolutely fascinating. And I go, here is a guy who is at this crossroads, and he's having this deep and almost spiritual experience where he's realizing that there's got to be, he's looking for perspective. He's gaining it, and he's looking for more. Our buddy Rob Meter always jokes, perspective is a really hard thing to get if you don't have it. and hearing this guy who's at the top of the millions of dollars.
He's basically saying, now what?
Well, yeah. And he's saying, and why? And he actually said a few times, JB, he said, what's the point? And it was, honestly, it was chilling almost listening to him. And he wasn't poor me, and he was very happy for all the success, and he felt he was very grateful rather. And yet at the same time, I could see that he was struggling with that idea. And there's something really, really fascinating about that to me.
Mel, this has been a blast. You are brilliant. We've taken up way too much of your time.
Brilliant.
Look, you have a whole studio behind you, and you stopped to talk to us about it.
Yeah, it's above my garage in Vermont. That's this one.
Cool. Yeah,
we got to have you boys come to Boston. Although you don't go anywhere, we got you guys do stuff. If you ever want it, you have an open invitation to the Mel Robbins podcast.
Thank you,
so nice.
Man.
Yeah,
I mean it. I'd love to have you on. Pick you apart on live camera. This would be amazing. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I do.
I'm really looking forward to meeting you on the 17th. That'll be awesome.
I'm looking forward to meeting you too. Thank you, Sean, for selecting me. I literally was so moved, and I can tell you the cheese ball thing now because I hate it when people come on and gush and fan. But you caused so many problems in my marriage, you guys, because when I first started listening to you, like everybody did, I would come home because I was so jealous of your friend group. And I thought, why are my friends boring? And I would come home to my husband and be like, you need to start picking on me. We're not interesting enough. And it turns out picking on your spouse is not a great thing for a marriage.
Just
you got to let them be who they are, right?
It's our love language. It's our love language.
I love that. Yeah. And thank you for allowing us as your listeners to feel like we are part of this friend group, because to have a friend group where you can really see that you guys love each other deeply and still jab at each other, it is a very rare thing. And it's a gift to experience it in our lives, to listen to you guys that way. So thank you for welcoming us in.
Thank you for saying that. And truly, thank you for coming on this
so
podcast.
Illuminating.
You're
Listening
a very
to you
big
talk,
deal.
I know. I wish this was 2 hours. I feel like I've learned a lot.
I know, right? I love it.
Well, we can maybe we can open up those private sessions. You know?
I know. Yeah. I'm going to DM you for a one-on-one.
Just a dick pic, okay? Just a dick pic.
You'll know who it's from, that's for sure. Thanks, Mel. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mel.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Mel,
All right,
very,
thanks,
very
guys.
much.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
What a pleasure. That was awesome. I literally was just talking about her the other day. That's
amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's been on my list for a couple of years now. But she, over 6 million copies of that book.
Insane.
Let them. I mean, it's amazing. And it's also amazing when people like her, or for, another example would be Oprah, or these people who lend their brains to the masses for what they've learned or discovered, and they pass it on to other people, hoping they can help other people too. I love that kind of stuff. Kind of like, if I can do it, you can do it kind of thing.
Yeah, what a gift that she's, as a result of her own personal circumstance, and touching bottom, as she was saying, and developing these coping skills out of necessity and desperation, that she found herself with a vehicle to share all of that knowledge and enlightenment with so many millions of people, and obviously has helped and so many folks. What a great use of your life, right? We're all going to look back when we're old and gray, and did we use our years right? And what a great success.
And you listen to
story.
her talk, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, well that makes sense. How did I not know that? It's like all common sense, basically.
Yeah,
but we just need to be told.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have some coping skills in us but maybe they're just sort of dormant until you hear somebody put them to words, and you go, oh, somebody just articulated what I kind of feel in me, but didn't know if I was allowed to kind of use it. And if somebody kind of puts it into words and puts it in somewhat of a scientific form, you're like, oh, great, yeah, let's use that.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, can I share some?
Oh boy.
Can I share some British words I've learned while I'm here?
Sure.
I guess so. I mean, how much of a choice do we have?
Not much. It's going to take 30 seconds.
Can we have a dad joke before you get into your buy section?
Sure, you want one?
Yeah. Oh, I like it. We've got a book listener. Just don't rifle through. Just stick your finger on a certain page.
Open it up.
Yeah. Here it comes.
A good elevator joke works on so many levels.
Great. Love it.
Great.
Very nice.
Love it.
Thank you. And
okay,
into
here we
our
go.
buy section now.
And now
Speaking of that, these are the three things I've heard. You take the lift, I'll take the apples and pears. I didn't know apples and pears meant stairs.
Yeah, it's Cockney, right?
It's Cockney, the way they do that.
I don't know. And then if somebody calls you, give me a call on my dog and bone. I got a call on my dog and bone. I didn't know phone was dog and bone.
Seems like you're saying 5 words instead of 1. I don't really get it, but go ahead.
That's right. And then the last one, somebody brought in, this is a true story. Somebody brought in bagels the other day at rehearsal for Goodnight Oscar at the
I
Barber
can't
Cannon.
wait. Look who's back. He's just when you thought he went away, he's back.
Look who's back. Anyway, so he brought these bagels from a store, and this is the truth. And the way they spelled bagel was Beigel, and that was the brand name.
Huh? And how would you pronounce that?
Yeah, how would you pronounce it?
I think I think it pronounced it.
Bagel. Would you like a dozen bagels?
Would you like a bagel?
Would you like bagel?
SmartLess.
SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Bennett Barbaco, Michael Grant Terry, and Rob Armjarf.
SmartLess.